both Japan trips 7 years apart. This is the only repeated location in our itinerary this time. We really love the vibe of this countryside city. We like the convenience of a city and yet tranquil of a countryside, not hectic as a city. And of course, we also come back for the food. There's not going to be a lot of footages in this vlog, as this is the second video I posted about Takayama. Link to the one on my first visit is on the top right hand corner if you are interested. Here I will share some of the activities which we missed out the first time and also talk about the differences we noticed here from 7 years ago. First off, apart from all the good vibe mentioned earlier, I think Takayama really make a good base for those exploring the northern region of Gifu. If you are not driving, there are robust bus and train connections, and also plenty of food options.
好吃吗？
We chose to stay here for 2 nights after visiting Shirakawa-go and Gokayama villages. You can always stay at these villages if you wanted the cultural experiences, but the setback would be the inconveniences. After hours, there are really nothing much to do there. And just like our last visit, we rented an Airbnb for 2 nights, but this time in a more convenient location.
That is the reason why they have all the curtain, all the so-called doors. A small bathtub. 会少烧水吗 ？Anyway, I think 这个是他的 living room 呢。
他想说这边不可以，你不可以开。If you want to, please remember to close this door.
对，
这个 sunroof can.
很冷。
很冷。
冷啊冷，很冷，很冷很冷。你 just outside。这个是给他们喝茶的，我打大米味道很重。On the light。这个他们没有关门，他们开了没有关。
关门。
哦，榻榻米也是。来，我的是。
One thing we love about staying in an actual Japanese house is the authenticity. 7-Eleven is also just around the corner, which we visited on both nights after late hours. After settling in our Airbnb, we headed out for dinner. And one of the main reasons we come back here is their Hidai beef. Yes, their local produced beef. And 7 years ago, I remember very clearly this is the best beef I had. And the price is really affordable as it is a local produce. Unfortunately, I have to be honest, to our disappointment, it does not taste as good as I remember. And my wife agreed too. Don't get me wrong, it is still nice and without doubt, I will still recommend to anyone coming here. I must say we are not expert on beef and we just ordered the most premium cuts in the menu just like the last time. The only difference is it was a different restaurant. And on the second night, we continued to hunt for the Hidai beef we fondly remembered. We came to the exact same street of the restaurant we visited 7 years ago. The restaurant is no longer here. There are more shops now and there are also more choices in terms of food wise. So I picked one of the restaurant and the beef was better but still far from what we had 7 years ago. Even the Hidai beef sashimi is not as good this time. One of the best activities to base here is their morning markets. There are basically two morning markets. Jiyame Market is smaller and typically only sell local farming products. I think you can skip it unless you have the intention to cook here. The main one is Miyagawa Morning Market, situated along the river with stalls selling local farming products, street snacks, and craft. It is pretty much the same as 7 years back, with some new businesses taking over the previous one, and it is always a good feeling to see familiar faces from the last time. They definitely do not recognize us, but we do remember them.
but 大概好像不是出名的。哎，这个什么？很多人在排队。
我叫2杯就好。你等下我拿一个钵。我吐了。spill 了。
OK。
spill 了，所以我就。
你就说。
早上跟晚上的扣跟台湾一样啊，after that 就 OK。
Let's go。那你喝爸爸的水哦，爸爸的是很冷的。
Samachi Suji Historical District is also a must-go area. Other than the charming preserved Edo period merchant houses, the variety of businesses running in these houses will keep you occupied for a while.
你要 A B or C？
1800円です。
比较红啊。
Thank you.
OK， ありがとう。
And I highly recommend doing this self-service sake tasting, something that we did for the first time.
You want to try?
Yeah, I don't want to try. 我看他看。
你觉得没有白真的？
OK， 然后你继续喝酒了。
哦，我要怎样？这个啊。
不懂嘞。OK， 可以了。
好了，好。
不要再按了。好喝啊。
Another strange sight we saw here is there are streets with mostly vacant spaces. I'm not entirely sure, but I do not remember it like this during our first visit. There are always more activities to do here within the city, like visiting various shrines or hiking up a nearby mountainside. As this was our second visit, we really did not plan much. We really just stroll around the city aimlessly and enjoy the total disconnection.